This 7 News update is brought to you by...
After the closing ceremony, there was little trouble, most just determined to farewell the Olympics in style. But the celebrations left behind a huge mess. And today, Sydney Airport was officially the busiest in the world. 100,000 people passed through the airport, the world's athletes and visitors finally heading home. There were long delays, but everything ran smoothly. Let's look at tonight's weather now. The forecast, fine with
Perth's favourite children's beach.
An urgent plea to a dangerous man on the run.
And John Howard carried away by our Olympic heroes.
Oh, that's it for me. I love that.
You're watching 7 News.
Hello, welcome to 7 News, and Rick joins us back from Sydney.
Thanks, Susanna. Also tonight, payback fears after...
Still celebrating. Today, Sydney celebrated with them as tens of thousands turned out to cheer the Games heroes.
Hundreds of thousands were there to say thank you, goodbye and well done.
Sydney honours our Olympians!
It was all for them, the team we'd watched for 16 days. And it was a chance for the athletes to say thanks for all the support.
It's a way of us athletes just thanking everybody.
Those who won medals wore them proudly. It's a wonder Ian Thorpe could hold his head up.
Talk on Susie's behalf. She thinks it's great and I think it's just as good. I think it's fantastic.
Susie can't speak. There've been a few parties.
You've lost my voice!
Diver Dean Puller started out in the car, but you just couldn't keep him there.
That's what I felt like on the board, just pumped up,
The city was packed, ticker tape raining down. Grant Hackett said he felt like one of the Beatles.
I mean, look at it, just energy everywhere. This is what life's about, just having fun. I love it.
For some, it's their last parade. No more Olympics.
End up with a silver medal and yeah, I'm walking away from it.
For others, a new challenge.
I'm going to be a mum for the first time, so I'm very excited.
For the crowd, it was like the Olympics were still in town.
I'm more proud to be Australian now than I have been at any other time in my life.
I'm going all goosey, I'm so proud.
There were some formalities, but not too formal.
You have shown the world and its billions of people the best of Australia night after night.
Miranda Eastman, 7 News.
And here in Perth, we get to say thanks when our Olympic heroes parade through the city this Friday lunchtime. We'll let you know more later in the week.
John Howard has been literally carried away by the euphoria of Australia's Olympic success. In extraordinary scenes, athletes introduced the Prime Minister to crowd surfing.
It was a party to celebrate Australia's Olympians, but it was the Prime Minister who was swept up in the post-Games euphoria, surfing the crowd.
Oh, that's it for me. I love that.
And so did the team. John Farnham and the athletes in party mode, the Prime Minister joining in the fun. 500 athletes leapt up on the stage, lifting up the Prime Minister after the official celebration honouring the Sydney 2000 Olympic team. The Prime Minister riding high later as he reflected on the spontaneous surge of support.
I was a bit worried about you in the mosh pit tonight. Getting tossed up in the mosh pit.
Oh, that's all right.
Crowd surfing tonight.
I thought you were going to go for a body surf, Prime Minister. No, well, if Alfie Langer can do it.
For the athletes, it was time to lash out after 4 years of training and healthy living. Earlier in the evening, Australians voted for their favourite Olympians. Triple gold medalist Ian Thorpe, most popular male athlete.
Once again, what a remarkable experience being considered Olympian and being considered amongst the finest athletes on earth. So thank you.
The People's Choice for most popular female athlete, Kathy Freeman.
Thank you. I'll take this home and put it in my new study. Thank you.
The team award went to the unbeatable Hockey Roos.
Oh, it's just incredible, and I just think it's going to get better. I just love you all. Thank you very much.
While the 2000 Olympic team will be remembered as Australia's most successful, the team will remember the night the Prime Minister surfed the crowd. Stephanie Kennedy, 7 News.
Don't be conned by appearances. It's not all happiness among our top Olympic chiefs. Now the Games are over, bitter divisions have been revealed. It's even got to the stage where SOCOG's chief executive has been denied a gold award.
When Michael Knight and the Australian team chief John Coates received their gold medals at the closing ceremony, the IOC believed there should have been one more recipient with them, so-called Chief Executive Sandy Holway. But Mr Holway was stuck in the stands. Mr Knight had overruled the decision to honour him, insisting he instead get a silver medal at a later ceremony. He's refused to explain why.
Not doing anything today. It's Athletes' Day. Please focus on the athletes.
He was even reluctant to have the cameras around, dispatching a minder to ask for privacy. But the IOC confirms it was Mr Knight who made that final decision.
This is his goal. We have to respect it, but we keep the best memories of these games with Mr Knight, with Sandy Holway and all the others.
They had backed Mr Holway, said he should have been on the list.
We wanted to give him the highest possible award that the IOC can offer, but in our hearts, he deserved the gold.
The popular so-called chief replied with some gold medal diplomacy.
We shouldn't now rain on the parade with any of these sort of 10th order, 100th order controversies. That's my view.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
Next, WA's newest court set up specially for drug users.
And fighting for peace.
Partying and back to reality for Australia's world-beating Olympians. And for our youngest team member, 15-year-old silver medalist Liesl Jones, that means going back to school.
In a fortnight, she'll be back in the schoolyard. But today, Liesl Jones was taking a bow as the youngest Australian to win an Olympic medal in an individual event.
This is amazing. My first experience a ticker tape parade, so I'm having a time of my life.
From day one of the Olympics, it's been a dream for the silver medalist. Now, it's back to the books.
I'll probably be pretty hard because I missed most of the schoolwork, so I'll probably just catch it up.
Her school friends can't wait.
We haven't seen her here for a while and we miss her, so I hope she comes back soon.
Yeah, she'll be the same. She'll just probably be more happier and everything. And yeah, I think she's done pretty well.
And it was show and tell with a difference today for the kids at Brisbane's Milton Primary School.
These are my shoes that I ran in.
With world 400-metre champion Michael Johnson dropping in.
And this is what you get when you win. You get a gold medal. Hold that.
An ambassador for next year's Goodwill Games in Brisbane, the dual Olympic gold medalist was also happy to pass on some handy tips.
You're going to go up like this, and then when you hear the gun, you know what to do.
Stephen Elkovsky, 7 News.
On the eve of their departure, Essendon champion James Hird has been appointed captain of the Australian team to tour Ireland. But his teammate, Matthew Lloyd, won't be going. He's still recovering from ankle surgery.
Hird capped off a remarkable year this afternoon when he accepted the captaincy of the Australian football team.
I just got told 5 minutes ago, so I'll go and have a think about it, and it's all on me pretty quickly. You know, we fly out tonight, and I suppose I've got be a bit more responsible than I was going to be, but that's the way it goes.
But disappointment for his teammate Matthew Lloyd, who has trained with the Aussie squad for the past 3 days. The Coleman medalist set to have surgery later this week after succumbing to an old ankle injury.
Lloydie, and obviously the 100-goal kicker, and it gives you something to aim at. Unfortunately, we're going to have to try a few more positions, but he'll be greatly missed.
Lloyd's blow a day after Melbourne spearhead Jeff Farmer was dropped after failing to appear at training.
That is disappointing from his behalf and obviously on our behalf, but obviously Adam and I are looking forward to it and getting over there and representing Melbourne as well as Australia.
But while the Australians have their share of problems, Ireland will be short of at least 6 of their best players. A draw in the recent All-Ireland Gaelic football final will mean a replay the day before the first international game on Sunday. Craig Bradley will vice-captain the 26-man Aussie squad 16 years after his first international game. Tiffany Cherry, 7 News.
The summer of sport is just weeks away, and it's time now to have a look at our teams of summer. Tonight, Lockie Reid previews those Wildcats, NBL champions last year, out to make it back-to-back.
It's a team sport, but for the Wildcats, pre-season training has been a game of one-on-one, with 3 players and a coach on Olympic duty, and a handful of stars hampered by injuries. Last year's NBL champions have hardly trained together, and the season is less than 3 weeks away.
I got introduced to a couple of them just then.
Olympians Flahoff, Grace and Rogers return to Perth tomorrow after helping the Boomers to 4th spot at the Olympics, while Grand Final MVP Marcus Timmins has only just recovered from a major shoulder injury. Youngster James Harvey is still sidelined with a fractured back.
we haven't really changed most of what we did last year, so it's not like, we're reinventing the wheel or anything.
But for the recruits like Ben Thompson, at least they've got an excuse for mucking up any of the set plays.
I haven't really ran through that much.
We're here to watch you. You're all beautiful.
It's just really good to be here and it's overwhelming.
I think they're awesome. They've just done their best. They've tried their hardest and they've done us proud, and I think that's what we can thank them for.
There was hardly a spare inch on the pavement. From every vantage point, thousands of fans gathered to catch one last glimpse of their heroes and to say thank you to the biggest and most successful Australian sporting team in history.
Thank you.
Amazing is an enormous understatement. It's so emotionally charged, this whole experience, these games for me personally. And just on behalf of all the Australian athletes, we really wanted to thank everybody for all the tremendous support.
They're yelling congratulations thanks to us, but really Sydney did the best job. It was amazing.
And are you happy now it's finished? I know that you sort of had a difficult time, you were sick.
Yeah, personal disappointment, but I'm glad for Australia and I'm glad for the rest of the team, and it was such a privilege to be involved with quite the best team Australia's ever produced, so it was an amazing feeling.
We've trained so hard for this and it's just great to see the public out here supporting us. It's awesome. Is this farewell for you?
For the Olympic Games it is. It's been great, and this is a fantastic parade.
You've decided the crowd can't spare you on to do another Olympics?
The crowd certainly can, but old age is catching up with me.
In fact, the parade was a grand farewell to several of our favourite Olympians.
Everyone's been so supportive of the Opals and also of me personally going to the Olympics with an injury, so it's been fantastic. I couldn't have finished my career any better.
It's a nice way to say goodbye.
Yeah, it is. Good way to thank the crowd for the 16 days of support that we've all had.
This will be my last ticket tape parade. It's her last. She's saying farewell. That's it for Susie.
But for others, today inspired them to carry on for another 4 years.
It is for these Olympics. We might have another crack at it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the body and the mind. The body's out and the mind's willing. Yeah, why not?
And you've obviously been to several Olympics before, but what's Sydney been like?
Just unbelievable. I think the Games have done so much for our national pride. Everyone's so pumped about how the whole team's gone, and the huge support we've had all the 2 weeks, and now culminating in this pretty much. So it's just a fantastic 2.5 weeks.
I'm having too much fun to stop now.
Fantastic. What are you going to be training for then?
I want to swim the 1500. I mean, it's been great to be a part of it, and I want to continue to be a part of it. And watching it the other week was really hard, but I never want to feel like that again, so I want to give myself every opportunity to be back in 4 years. It's pretty awesome to see so many people supporting the Olympic team.
I never thought the Olympics would be as good as it has been. It's been awesome. And I mean, and then it's thanks, mainly to our wonderful people here in Australia. They've really supported us, and you just have to look around and everyone's so excited.
And while the crowd took photos and collected autographs, the athletes made their own record of their big day.
And are the shades hiding some weary eyes?
No, I had a couple of nights off, so I wanted to get ready for this. This is going to be really special. We owe it to all these people. This is what we do it for. To see the look on their faces.
I just want to thank Sydney for coming out today. It's just wonderful. It's the best moment of the whole Olympic experience.
Even better than winning that.
Even better than winning this. Doing this with everybody in Australia is just the ultimate.
This isn't love, it's very close. This isn't love, it's very close.
Great stuff. Rachel Friend reporting there. And the post-Olympic party continues for our athletes with another street parade in Melbourne tomorrow, followed by Adelaide, Perth, Darwin, Hobart, then Brisbane, and finally Canberra. Next, the fight to save a 3-year-old who weighed...
Gathering at the base of the Opera House on a perfect October day, the athletes were ready for a big reception. As the parade moved into the CBD, more people crammed the streets.
We love you, Sydney!
Members of the different Olympic sports marched and drove together in alphabetical order.
The support of Australians has been phenomenal.
Look at all the energy. That's what life's about, having fun. It's awesome.
Retiring after 5 Olympics, basketballer Andrew Gaze got a little more attention than he bargained for. Some in the crowd were overcome with excitement.
Excellent! Yeah!
Some weren't supposed to be there.
We wanted to come here. It was so important to us that we skipped school just to come and see our heroes.
Yeah!
Others couldn't believe they were lucky enough to be in the front row.
Oh, look, I come from Perth and I just can't believe it. I'm just about crying. It's emotional. It's absolutely brilliant.
More than 600 athletes are taking part in this parade. They won 58 medals, Australia's largest tally. This reception is evidence of the overwhelming popularity many of them will enjoy for years to come.
A few of the athletes were showing the effects of days of partying and cheering.
Susie, how you doing? You haven't got any voice left.
Some of the athletes said it was the crowd that deserved the applause for inspiring them.
I think it just gives you so much confidence, so much motivation to keep going. These people have belief in you, and these people are so proud of you no matter what you've done.
At Town Hall, team captain Andrew Gaze was presented with the key to the city.
We thank you for the magic and the music and the glamour you have added to our lives.
The parade frenzy continues across the country for the Olympians over the next week, with events in each capital city. Joe O'Brien, ABC News, Sydney.
Meanwhile, it's been revealed that the Olympics Minister, Michael Knight, blocked an award to SOCOG's Chief Executive, Sandy Holloway. Mr Holloway was to receive a gold medal for his role, along with the Minister and AOC President John Coates, until Mr Knight insisted it be downgraded to a silver.
On Sunday, Michael Knight threatened to refuse his award if Mr Holloway received the same honour. Keeping with tradition, the IOC had voted to reward Mr Holloway with gold for his organisational efforts.
The 4 vice presidents of the IOC were unanimous in wishing him the gold.
But Mr Knight personally intervened, instead nominating his departmental head and Games Director General, David Richmond. IOC Vice President Jack Rogg led the defence of Mr Holloway right through to executive level, but in the end it was left to President Samaranch to decide, and he accepted Mr Knight's decision. A lifetime public servant, Sandy Holloway's relationship with Michael Knight had been no easy ride. In the lead-up to the Games, he was stripped of his power. He received second-class treatment over the last 2 weeks and even had his seating downgraded. For all that, Mr Holloway says he bears no grudges.
I'm just very happy with how it's all worked out, and I think we should all just enjoy the experience we've had and not let any rain fall on the parade.
While Mr Knight basked in the glory of today's athletes' parade, public sympathy was with Mr Holloway.
I didn't feel like congratulating him, yet it's been a wonderful Olympics.
An act of spite, not to, and I could see that.
Ego can come to the fore when it's so easy to be generous.
New South Wales Premier Bob Carr sensed the mood.
Look, I can't hand out gold medals, but if I could, I'd give one to Sandy Holloway.
The opposition said Mr Knight had displayed a meanness of spirit.
On Sunday night, we paid homage to many icons. Michael Knight has reminded us of the great Aussie bastard.
Michael Knight had only just redeemed himself after years of being seen as the hard man of New South Wales politics. Now, just 2 days after the best Olympics ever, he's accused of souring the triumphant mood. John Shovelin, ABC News.
The Howard government has ruled out a freeze on fuel excise, despite strong pressure from farming groups. The National Farmers Federation is threatening to campaign against marginal MPs if the government doesn't act to ease pressure on petrol prices.
John Howard's hoping the success of the Olympics will help him surf back into office at the next election. The Olympic goodwill lingered briefly in Canberra this afternoon as MPs returned from their Games break.
It was a great event. It showcased everything that was good about Australia, our openness, our friendliness, our sense of fun and sport and relaxation.
And reconciliation, added Kim Beazley.
These Olympic Games have moved us on as a people.
I think we have surprised ourselves.
But with interest rates and petrol prices on the up and up, the spirit soon evaporated, especially with farmers hitting town to demand a freeze in the next rise in fuel excise.
The point is the price of fuel is unsustainable for farming and, in fact, for country Australia.